As hundreds of drones and missiles streak through Middle Eastern skies tonight, millions are in the firing line, while Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu gamble to reshape this region. When those US jets took off for Operation Epic Fury, the message to the world was clear. Trump wanted regime change. The president urging the Iranian people, who've suffered under a violent government for nearly 40 years, to take back control when the fighting is over.
I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help.
But it may not be that simple. Iran's supreme leader and dozens of other key senior figures may be dead, but the regime has deep roots, even if the president hopes for a quicker solution.
He's looking for an exit. He wants to see people rise up. He wants to see people in the army and the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guards, defect and cause the implosion of the government so that he can declare victory and end the military operations. And by that, make sure that this does not drag out to something that will be politically costly for him at home.
It's unclear who could immediately succeed the Ayatollah, but the regime is keen to show continuity. President Pezeshkian, Chief Justice Mohsenji, and a member of the Guardian Council, Arafi, will temporarily govern until a new leader is picked.
I imagine that there's a lot of jockeying behind the scenes right now for who will be the next supreme leader.
Celebrations across Iran, large and small, some on the streets and many in their homes. But in Tehran's main square, likely organized demonstrations of regime support and chants of death to America. The new leadership has indicated they're open to talks with the US, but with this attack launched during the last negotiation, trust will be hard to win back.
To establish trust is really going to be difficult with Iran. But at the same time, Iranian policies have brought this misery down on themselves, on the people of Iran. And my hope is that whoever comes after Ayatollah Khamenei will recalibrate. The system will recalibrate.
Until then, an entire region is now being sucked into a spiraling conflict. US embassies a target too, from growing clashes at a US consulate in Karachi to the Green Zone in Baghdad. Tens of thousands of embassy staff and military personnel on high alert. The State Department also urging Americans worldwide to remain vigilant. Gulf countries are now weighing whether to join the US and Israeli action. Iran's foreign minister today insisted the fight was not with their Arab neighbors.
The relationship between Iran and the Gulf states is incredibly complicated. I think that they fear Iran's influence to a degree, but they also know that it's probably in their interests to peacefully coexist.
The US was pushing Iran for weeks to accept a new nuclear deal, but Donald Trump seemed to grow impatient. He encouraged tens of thousands to flood the streets in January to protest the current regime. Many thousands were killed, and Trump escalated his attacks.
This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right, and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats.
The president orchestrating the largest buildup of US weaponry in the region in years. What looked like a pressure tactic became the most potent instruments of war in decades. 35,000 troops mobilized. Satellite images show nearly a dozen F-22 fighter jets in southern Israel, refueling and reconnaissance aircraft in Saudi Arabia, 2 aircraft carrier strike groups moving into position, and for the first time, one-way, low-cost, unmanned combat attack systems, or LUCAS. Iran's Islamic regime is isolated perhaps like never before. Since the October 7th attack, its proxies, including Hamas, Hezbollah and the Syrian regime under Assad, all dismantled. We were there the week rebel groups toppled Bashar al-Assad from power at the end of 2024.
For so many years, Syria was a fortress. And now, we're just driving straight in.
From the Mediterranean in Lebanon through Syria, Iran has had a death grip on this region. Now, with that loosened, Netanyahu and Trump believe there has never been a better time for change. The big question, will it be change they can control?
James Longman with us live from Turkey tonight. And James, I know there's real concern throughout the region that this conflict really could grow.
Yeah, David, there is a very real possibility that this becomes something much bigger than President Trump can control. Already tonight, Israel says it's striking targets in Lebanon, claiming Hezbollah has fired on them. This is existential for so many groups in this region. David.
James Longman reporting from Turkey tonight. James, thank you.